Welcome to Native Bidaské, Native News Online's weekly spotlight on the people making news and leading change in Indian country.
This is Levi Rickert. I'm coming to you as the host of Native Bidaské. We have a very special guest today, the great, legendary Billy Mills, who is going to talk about his new book, Wings of an Eagle. And Billy Mills, if you recall, 60 years ago this year, won the 10,000 meter at the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. And he really doesn't need a whole lot of introduction in Indian country. But so welcome, Billy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
And Billy, this new book is fascinating. Tell us tell us the origin of the title of the book itself, Wings of an Eagle.
That came about actually, Donna Bowman, co-writer. I think it was her idea. She probably had no idea how that fit into my life until she interviewed me later. But when my mom died, and my dad told me I had broken wings, and it takes a dream to heal broken wings. He said, follow your dream, lead you to a passion in life, develop your skills to equal the passion, bring them together, and magical things can happen. And you can have wings of an eagle. So when Donna and I got together, I think we both knew early on what the name of the book would be.
And tell us, why did you make it into a children's book?
I love that question. And as I've traveled throughout the world, other countries were studying Oglala Lakota Treaty. A number of other countries were studying treaties of the other indigenous tribes in the United States of America. They were studying the doctrine of discovery, for example. They studied the journey we've been on and the devastation we faced. They also were aware to some extent of the seventh generation. And as I had time go by since winning the gold medal, which gave me a platform to speak, to share words, I wanted at some point in time, as I got older, and Patrice says I'm 4 years from 90 now, June 30th, I wanted to make a statement that pertained to our seventh generation. And in the Native country, we know the concept behind the seventh generation. Sitting Bull said, we'll take the best of both worlds and we'll build a new world for our children. But those words and those roads became misleading very quickly. Generational trauma from broken treaties, boarding school abuse, etc. So the way I heard it was, our elders then said, from the date of signing of our treaties, for example, it'll take 7 generations to heal. We have seventh generation children throughout America today. And I wanted to, as I got older, I wanted to share my thoughts of half Lakota, half white. And both of me, the Lakota culture, the white ancestry, both have to heal. So I wanted to reach the children of America today. And we have our seventh generation children there, along with their peer group, which represents the diversity of America. And collectively, they're going to heal. We'll be the ones with proper mentoring to choreograph the horizon of America's future. So the children's book was sacred in a way to reach, which I thought was the most influential age group in America, and that's the seventh generation.
Yeah, and to be clear, it's not, whereas it's billed as a children's book, adults I understand children's books are very popular among adults. So
Yeah.
your message is strong, whatever age group you're trying to reach. So that's beautiful. Hey, Billy, you won the Olympics 60 years ago this year. That's a long time ago. And one thing about I have seen, my observation is athletes come and go, rock stars come and go, and sometimes it's a one-time deal and you're gone. You have remained very relevant, not just in Indian country among Native Americans, but throughout, because I have been at some of your lectures at universities where the whole track team shows up and you are so popular. Hey, well, how do you feel like you've remained so relevant all these years, which is a wonderful thing?
I think I tried to put my life always in a relevant moment. And when I, in a sense, discovered the significance of going to the Olympic Games, and I remember Oliver Red Cloud telling me to humble myself to all creation, where we're no better, we're no less, to honor my family, and my tribal nation in the United States of America. Then he said, take with you our most powerful prayer. We're all related. So winning the gold medal at the Games, reading articles in Japan during that period, I read where the Japanese leaders wanted their youth born on the day of the first atomic bomb being dropped, to the day of the opening ceremonies, to see the world as one. So I put that into our culture, and from there came my word. From there came my words of global unity, through the dignity, character, beauty of global diversity, or national, or local unity. And you find that today. One of the major issues facing America today, where many of our American leaders are trying to let the winds of change, passage of time, wash footprints away that created America. And I'm just trying to say, in our classrooms, let's teach, let's speak the truth, the footprints that created who we are. And that has to include the diversity of America.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's very profound, and you remaining relevant through the years. You have been able to raise millions of dollars on behalf of Native Americans and really the youth. And talk about your success with your organization.
Well, Running Strong, Running Strong's birth came from one of the Lakota's 7 virtues and values, and that's generosity. When I was reminded by elders, and Oliver Red Cloud primarily, to, when I go to the Olympic Games, don't forget to give back, to give thanks to those that empowered me. And after the Olympic Games, I started being asked by elders, when are you going to have your giveaway? And I was making it too complex until Patricia said, take this traditional value and let's implement it in a contemporary manner. We were fortunate enough to meet Eugene Krizek, who had founded Christian Relief Services. Together, we co-founded Running Strong, and that became my giveaway. And we've been able to do just some incredible things because of the compassion of the diversity in America who's contributed to make Running Strong possible to give back. And hopefully the giveaway will continue long after I'm on my spiritual journey.
Well, and talk about Native American youth. What do you see? I mean, so often you hear the negative side of things in life, but Running Strong has really helped identify through an application process those who want to make a difference. And you basically bring in, Running Strong brings in, help me out, is it 8-10 kids a year? I say kids because I'm old, but youth who want to make a difference. And what gives you hope about Native American kids today?
Well, what gives me hope, and granted, we still have some of our young people struggling from meth, uh, drugs, etc., which I say were planted in the inner cities and made their way to poverty pockets of America. But within that group, we have a very large, growing number of indigenous youth that have a dream. And so on the 50th anniversary of me winning the gold medal, I wanted to give back to our youth to help their dreams come true. So the staff members founded the Dream Starters program, where today we pick 10 young indigenous youth throughout the United States who have a dream that can empower their community. We started out giving them a $10,000 grant, flew them back to Washington, D.C., our headquarters, which are now here in Sacramento, California, and we'd have the Dream Starters Academy. Present them their $10,000 check. They go back with their nonprofit, start trying to implement the dream that could empower their community. We're now giving those 10, $20,000 a year.
Wow.
And their dreams are so powerful, so real, so appropriate in today's times. And they are definitely making a difference in the horizon of America's future.
Yeah, I know when I go to conferences around the country, and then I was actually with the Dream Starters last year, but they really do give some good hope and good promise, I tell you, because like I say, you hear so much of the negative, and we realize that, but they are our future leaders, and I'm so happy you're doing what you're doing with the Running Strong organization. With the Dream Starters.
Also, I might add, I want every youngster in class today in America, might be one of our young Indian children, maybe a seventh generational child with his or her peer group and their diversity. I want every one of our young people in school today to feel they have a dream that can come true, that they have a support system that's willing to reach out and help them. And through understanding each other's diversity, we're just so much stronger. We're stronger as one, in a sense. Not my words, but I believe it. And when Donna Bowman, when she contacted Pat and I, she had been studying the Lakota culture for a number of years, and then started studying me. And I wasn't ready to do a children's book until she walked in our home with her young son who went to college on an athletic scholarship. She walked in and started talking to me about me. And I saw that this young lady, non-Indigenous lady, and how she, studying our culture, studying me, some of our virtues and values, she changed. And I could sense that change. And later she said it was so special for her to learn about the Lakota life, to learn about Billy and my dreams. And then we started talking about doing a book. And in the back of my mind, I had S.D. Nelson, this incredible illustrator, Lakota. And then she said, here's who I would love to have as the illustrator. But then it was left up to Little Brown, the publishing company. And once they learned a bit more about S.D. Nelson, I got my wish. I got the writer. I got the illustrator. Told the stories, Pat and I. And from there comes a book that I just didn't expect three things. For example, it'll be the Library of Congress Book Festival in August.
Nice.
The Library of Congress, great reads from great states, and also Amazon was #1 on Amazon's children's book, and Publishers Weekly, which reviews like 10,000 plus books a year. They give the top 5% a star, and we were just informed that Wings of an Eagle gets one of the stars. So I'm so blessed that I can take part of our culture and share it in a classroom across America where people feel they're part of it through understanding their diversity, that we are stronger as one. And I just believe in the future of America. I believe in our democratic experiment, but we're being challenged today.
Billy, those are great words, and congratulations on the early success. And I'm sure it's just you're going to get more awards and accolades for it. It just came out July 2nd, so it's still early, but that's fantastic, and I'm really proud, and I love the idea it gets into those hands of those children. So to our viewers, you can buy Wings of an Eagle by going to Amazon, and that would be it's going for a worthy cause. Billy's already successful. He's not trying to get rich off this, but he's trying to enrich the youth of today. So that is fantastic. Hey, Billy, and you got some exciting news. You and your family are about ready to embark on a nice journey across the ocean. And why are you going over to Europe?
Okay, we're going to the Olympic Games in Paris, and our daughters said, "Dad, you're getting up in age." I turned 86 June 30th.
Wow.
And they said, "You're going to live a long time, Dad, but let's start creating memories. Let's start creating memories when you're on your spiritual journey and mom's on hers. Let's start creating these memories that'll bring us joy, will bring us a smile." And they said, so much of you and Mom's life began one moment in time, winning the gold medal at the Olympic Games. So let's go as a family to Paris. So there's 4 daughters, a couple son-in-laws, grandchildren, Pat and I, and a dear friend who's like a daughter. 10 of us will be going.
Beautiful.
They arrive in the opening ceremonies, no longer in a stadium, but each country has their own boat, and they sail down the River Seine. And we're going first to San Vittorio Alano, Italy, where they have a race called Cinque Mulini, 5 mills. And I won the race years ago, and they're actually having a fundraiser for Running Strong. And then Pat and I then leave Italy on the 30th and fly into Paris. And the opening day of track and field is August 2nd, and the first final, the opening day of track and field, is the 10,000 meter run. So we will be there. Then I hope to be able to see the lacrosse championships, and our indigenous lacrosse team competing has a chance to win the gold. I'd love to see breakdancing, a new sport, simply because the Superman's disc jockey wrote the music. He wrote the music for the Olympic breakdancing.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of indigenous involvement with the games in Paris. And we want to make our rounds and see old friends and meet new friends and hopefully cross paths with some of the indigenous people there.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. Are there anybody you ran against in the 1964 Olympics going to be there? Anyone or?
Anybody from 64?
There may be some people from 64, not many. We attended the U.S. Olympic reunion, and I was the oldest one and the only one from 1964. But I will also be giving to the World Olympic Museum I'll be giving to the World Olympic Museum my warm-up from the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games, and I'm told it'll be the first item donated to the World Olympic Museum from 1964, track and field.
That's wonderful. And where is that museum?
Monaco.
I think it's in Monaco.
Okay.
The museum is in Monaco.
Yeah. And Billy, it's the Creator's been good to you. God in heaven's been good to you that you're still able to get around at 86 years of age. I'm so excited. I want to hear all about it when you get back. It's just so, and you truly are a hero among Native Americans and way beyond Indian country. People just admire you and think so highly of you. So congratulations on all your success. I'm so happy for your new book. And what's the last word you want to say?
Well, I think that the wings of an eagle, I'll just put it up there to see. And S.D. Nelson did an incredible job with the artwork.
Yes.
So much of the book and so much of why people will say some nice words about me is because my roads became misleading. Thoughts of suicide, for example. And who I am today is simply because I took the Lakota virtues and values. I took wisdom and I just tried to understand wisdom. I would sit down and I would study. I would study them. And for example, generosity, running strong for American Indian youth, got its birth from generosity, courage, just courage to stay the course, patience, perseverance, respect, and to honor yourself, honor others before you honor yourself, humility. I took those virtues and values and I try daily to put them in my life. And I feel very blessed. And I treat my total being equal. I treat being half Lakota, half European ancestry equal. And I pay respect to my great-grandmother who walked in with Crazy Horse's band, with her 5 children. The youngest, 5.5 years old, Ben Mills, my grandfather. And I give equal respect to B.B. Mills, English, English, and there's one other tribe. Well, excuse me, I'm trying to make him Lakota, but B.B. Mills, primarily English, Scottish, I believe, was asked by Red Cloud. Red Cloud asked the government if he could be the first Indian agent, and they said no. He speaks fluent Lakota, married a Lakota woman, has Lakota children. It would be too hard to save the children by taking the Indianness out of them. And 3 months later, he died. So she found her way from Fort Laramie to Crazy Horse's band, and he took her in. And when he came in, being starved by the systematic killing of the buffalo, she then joined Red Cloud's band, and I believe Crazy Horse's wife might have been Red Cloud's relative. And I just take that total existence of who I am and try to be a total being.
That's fantastic. And to our viewers, we've been listening to the great Billy Mills, who won the Olympic gold medal 60 years ago this year. He's going over to Paris. And so we're so happy. And we've been talking about his new book, Wings of an Eagle from Little Brown. So go to Amazon, you can purchase it, and you will really enjoy it. So, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Native Bidaské. And in the meantime, be safe, hug your elders, take care of each other, and love one another.
My last words.
Yes.
You can also go to runningstrongindianyouth.org, and you can purchase the book there also.
Okay. Thank you so much.
If you appreciate what we do here at Native News Online, we invite you to donate to support our continued work covering Indian country. You can scan this code with your smartphone or go to the link located below this video to donate today. We greatly appreciate your support. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And be sure to scan this code or go to the link below to subscribe to our newsletter. Thank you for joining us today, and please be sure to join us again next week for another episode